Namaste. In this video, we'll talk about Sankalpa. And so we'll start with a meditation that can help to bring feeling space and attention towards what your Sankalpa might be. So the Upanishads say that a person's destiny is defined by what their deepest, most driving desire is. And so as we move through this lesson today, go with a sense of inquiry as to what your sankalpa, your personal sankalpa, might be. And so we'll begin with an exercise to start asking those questions, and then we'll break down what the sankalpa is, and then there will be an assignment for you to jot down this experience and this meditation, the ideas that were presented, and a few additional inquiry exercises to determine what your personal, deepest driving desire is. So sit up straight, get comfortable, tuck the chin, lengthen the spine. Let the body feel heavy. Imagine a wave of relaxation washing over the crown of the head. Feel it washing down over the expressions on the face, the sides and back of the head. Feel relaxation washing down the neck, into the shoulders, arms, dripping down the fingertips. Feel this wave wash over the chest and upper back, softening and relaxing as it moves over the belly and low back, into the hips, legs, and feet. Relax the forehead. Soften the corners of the eyes and the jaw. Relax the heart center of consciousness. And watch the breath move in and out of this space. Watch the breath move in and out of the chest. Feel a fine vibration in the heart space. Breathe in and out of the chest. Imagine a tiny version of you resting in the heart space now. See yourself resting in the warm, dark, safe space of the heart. Feeling the resonance of the heartbeat. The sound of the heartbeat filling your awareness now. Listen to the heart beating. And from within the space of the heart, ask, who am I becoming? Pose the question to the heart, who am I becoming? Is there anything I'm ready to let go of to become who I am? Come back to the sweet smell of the breath. And now sense a fine vibration in the whole physical body. Tune in to the experience of the physicality of the body. Feel the fine vibration of the inner body as if every cell was listening to these words. And ask your body, where in my body holds the ripest teachings for my high self at this time? Where in my body am I holding the ripest teachings for my highest self at this time? Whatever dominant area or part of the body is revealed to you, go there and pay attention. Notice what shows up. And now ask, is there anything my body wants me to let go of? Is there anything my body wants me to let go of? And now gently return to this place and time. Start to externalize your awareness, paying attention to the feeling of the seat beneath you, the sounds, smells of the room, and gently blink open the eyes. Pause the video here and take notes about any answers that your heart and body provided. So first, write about the answers your heart provided, then the answers from your body. Pause the video now and come back after you've taken some notes. Okay, let's open with the sound of Om. Bring the hands to heart center. Namaste. What is Sankalpa? Let's break it down etymologically. To San, meaning connection with the highest truth or connection with the heart. Kalpa, meaning vow, or the vow to be observed above all other vows. Sankalpa is a connection to our highest truth of self-realization. It is the realization as well as the process of realizing. Sankalpa is truth embodied. It is the embodiment of our highest self. It teaches us our true nature as spirit, as a creator, and as divinity itself. Sankalpa is an alignment with Source. Here's a quote by my teacher, Tanis Fishman. Awareness is a light that illuminates what is ready to be seen. And so let our awareness and present moment awareness light up the path for what this source consciousness is ready to teach us. And so we experience these moments of awakening when we are paying attention to the present moment. And here's how we choose a Sankalpa. So through self-inquiry, through the practice of Svadhyaya and reflection, So, being reflective of the self. Remember, we talked about noticing how we handle big emotions and moments of stress and overwhelm. These are perfect times for self inquiry and reflection. Attune yourself with present moment awareness. So, pay attention to signs that you may see. For example, spirit may talk to you through a whisper or a dream or so on. So notice your unique language with Source. It may come as a vision, as a synchronicity, as a fleeting moment, as a unique or new thought. And sometimes messages can come even through more challenging situations like obstacles. And so in our 200 hour, we talk about the kleshas and how the obstacles are there to strengthen us. And so it's kind of like if you wake up in the morning and trip over the same rock for a couple of days in a row, eventually you'll know that the rock is there and effortlessly begin to move around it. And so your awareness of space and ability to not hurt your toe every morning is enhanced because of the obstacle that was there. And so it's the same with life. We are presented with many obstacles, maybe in the form of, as it shows here, burnout or dissatisfaction or loss or illness, so that we can understand the contrast, right? We have the suffering, and that's how Prakriti works, is, we're able to see the light because of the darkness. And so we know that whatever the circumstance was that brought about the obstacle or the burnout or the illness, that in the future we will do something stronger. We will do something to prevent experiencing this type of obstacle. And so we pay attention to these obstacles as learning opportunities. We pay attention to the natural moments of awakening. Because communicating with the higher self means quieting the ego. And how do we quiet the ego? Well, we bring the body and mind in sync, and we enter a state of non-reactivity. So when these obstacles and challenges are presented to us, we can get into this mind and body synchronicity and a state of non-reactivity by taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, becoming the witness consciousness. Okay, there is a quote in the Upanishads that says, "You are what your deepest driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny." So our deepest driving desire is paving the way for our destiny. So let's take a look then at the quality of the Sankalpa. First of all, it needs to be in a language that is understood by the subconscious mind. So what does that mean? Well, the subconscious mind can only understand present moment, okay? And it has to be relatable. So the Sankalpa has to be personal. This is a process of self-realization. So personal means it has to be in your own language, because your world will manifest from the reflection that you become. So in that sense, we use the word I, right? Because you cannot realize anyone else or any other's experience, but only your own. And then you become a reflection of what you want to see in the world by changing yourself. right? Be the change that you want to see. So the Sankalpa must be personal. It must be in present tense. So this is why we say I am. So the subconscious mind can only understand, can only feel what is happening in the present moment. Remember, it can't analyze the past or the future. And so the subconscious is bringing together, the Sankalpa is bringing together a thought and a feeling. And so this feeling is what the subconscious mind picks up on. And so this Sankalpa must resonate with you, which means that there is a deep longing within you, because a person is what his deepest, most driving desire is. Okay, it must be positive. So the subconscious mind does not differentiate between do and don't. Therefore, this must be a positive statement. So rather than saying, I am not impatient, you would rather say, I am patient. So turn it from not this into a positive statement. And we'll look at some examples in a little while. Okay, finally, the Sankalpa must be clear and concise. So this vow is used as an anchor to focus our awareness. And so if the Sankalpa is too long, it will begin to involve the analytical mind's stories. So it has to be clear and succinct for the subconscious mind to pick up. So, like, I am whole, I am radiant, I am healthy. Something short and to the point. Okay. Here are some examples. I am whole, I am healthy, I am confident, I am awakened to my true nature, I am peaceful, I trust myself, I am love, I am okay, I am. So the Sankalpa can be a goal or vision for the outer world, something that we feel that we are separated from, and then the Sankalpa becomes the bridge that connects us to that. We can work with bad habits or behavioral patterns that we want to shift. And sometimes these higher Sankalpas, like, I am awakened to my highest potential, or I am awakened to Kundalini energy, or I am connected to God. These higher Sankalpas may hold a key to what the samskaras are manifesting in our life for healing. So an example of this might be, Sankalpa might be something like, I want to feel connected to a higher source. I want to feel connected. So remember, this is saying I want to is saying that this is a future tense, right? So we would change that to I am connected. But when we look at this, I want to feel connected to a higher source, then that implies that I'm currently feeling disconnected. And maybe that could point to a samskara that's manifesting for our healing. If you're feeling disconnected, maybe you never felt connected as a child. Maybe there's some disconnection between the mother or the father energy that needs healing. And so maybe we can bring the Sankalpa into something like, I am connected. So when you're choosing your Sankalpa for yourself, don't be in a hurry. So you can always just hold a neutral space where the Sankalpa can eventually arise. Or you can choose a general but potent Sankalpa. For example, I am whole, or I am love. Sankalpa is a vow that is received through self-honesty and alignment with love and trust. So when you do decide on your Sankalpa, you want to treat it with commitment, not just as a passing idea or a thought or an affirmation, but you want to have faith in your ability to manifest this sacred vow. So, in coming up with a Sankalpa, here are some questions that you can ask yourself. What displaces your mind more than anything else? What takes you out of the present moment awareness? And what causes disharmony in your life? So, you may jot down these questions as journal prompts. And then you'll look at what you wrote down at the beginning of class, as well as these questions, and continue on with the assignment listed to start to identify a theme, a thread that ties these different activities together. And eventually the Sankalpa will come out of that ripe soil. Once you have an idea of your Sankalpa, here is when and how we will plant the seed of this Sankalpa. So when we do it, we want there to be a coherence between the conscious and the subconscious mind. Remember, the conscious mind represents thought and the subconscious mind represents feeling. So the Sankalpa really is the connection with the thought and feeling. It brings coherence between the conscious and subconscious mind. We want to come up with this Sankalpa while we're in an alpha brain state, because at this time we are open and receptive. There's no pull from the analytical mind. So you could see the analytical mind sort of as a security guard, blocking the doorway between the conscious and the subconscious mind. It's that inner voice that's sort of judging and measuring every experience against past experiences and belief structures and patterning. So when the analytical mind is there, there's not a lot of new information that can come in, or new ideas or influences that can come in. So if there's inner resistance to the Sankalpa or a meditation practice, it means that the security guard is still there and the doors are not open. So we've got to quiet the analytical mind, which is what we do with relaxation. And relaxation then is a gateway to the infinite. The body enters a tension-free state and it feels effortless as the mind begins to quiet. And that happens in that alpha brain state. In Yoga Nidra, we plant the Sankalpa at the beginning of practice after internalizing, and then again at the end of practice after going through the unbounded awareness, the Anandamaya Kosha. You can always nurture the Sankalpa as well right before you go to sleep, and as soon as you wake up in the morning. You can use a journal to jot these things down when you're focusing on your Sankalpa during meditation, Shavasana, or use it as an affirmation during the waking state. So remember, we want to work with this when the subconscious mind and the conscious mind are in coherence, because otherwise the conscious mind is fighting. And your subconscious mind is 80% more powerful than your conscious mind. So it's important that you plant your Sankalpa in the ripe soil of full confidence, trust, and self-assurance in order to amplify its effectiveness. You'll repeat the Sankalpa 3 times. 3 is the most stable number. So 2 can't hold space, but 3 is a container. So if you were to draw 3 dots, from 2 we have a line, and to 3 all of a sudden we have a triangle or a space holder. It's the first shape that's able to hold space. We move from the unmanifest at 2 to the manifest at 3. 3 represents creation, manifestation, the Holy Trinity. It's the first stable structure, the first stable number that is creating and manifesting into form. So repeating the words 3 times, this represents thought. Okay, the repetition also helps to strengthen the neuronal network. Next is feeling, so the emotional state. Awaken the feeling of the Sankalpa. Evoke the emotion. So remember that the thought state is the conscious mind, and the feeling state is the subconscious mind. So when you're repeating the Sankalpa 3 times, you should also be awakening the feeling and having the faith and trust that the Sankalpa has already manifested. And this is surrendering to that unified field, surrendering to the higher will, stating it and knowing that it has already happened. So Sankalpa is an inside job in the sense that when we shift, everything around us shifts. So first, we change ourselves, and then the world around us changes. You want to keep the same Sankalpa every time you practice because the consistency and reinforcement, the commitment, helps to solidify that vow. We begin working deeper, and through repetition, it starts to create root and build those neuronal networks into the nervous system and brain pattern so that the flow of energy can happen, and it becomes a more natural, embodied state. When we say our Sankalpa, it's only as powerful as the intent that you put behind it. So you're pulling this potential from the field into your experience, and it's something that you are co-creating into reality. It's like stating a code, because this thought vibration is like a code that enters the pranic field, and once it's in the pranic field, it's connected to the chakra system, and within the chakra system, it creates a new environment, and that environment evokes an emotion. And when we have an emotion, we're tapping into our endocrine system, causing the release of new hormonal structures or new hormonal instructions. And those hormonal shifts cause changes within the body, and they cause cells to replicate based on those new instructions. And so this is sort of the map by which the Sankalpa shifts our energy, shifts the most dense layer of our experience, our Annamaya Kosha, our physical body. So once the Sankalpa is planted, the new system will automatically inspire new thoughts, words, and actions in the waking state. We're all searching externally for experience to give an internal awakening. Like, I'll be happy when this experience happens. But Sankalpa works from the inside out, just like yoga. Developing, nurturing, and awakening the inner qualities first. And then by living and becoming it, we begin to see from that place. And everything around us reflects those changes. In the next lesson, we will begin with the rotation of consciousness for Annamaya Kosha. So now that the Sankalpa has been set, then it's time to begin relaxing and purifying the physical body. So be sure to take some time after this video before you go on to really work with your own personal Sankalpa, even if that means a few days of nurturing it as you go to bed at night and wake up in the morning, journaling about it and doing some meditation practices with it. Do that before continuing on to the next video. Let's close. Hands to the heart, deep breath in. Namaste.